Today's movie features interspecies romance, space lasers, and a humanoid duck with quite a libido. That's right, we watched Howard the Duck, so you don't have to.
Whose idea was it to watch this?
I think we blocked this movie out on purpose, like a trauma response.
Well, we've brought it back, and we have thoughts and feelings. In this episode of the Shermer High Alumni Association, we rewind Howard the Duck, a 1986 box office disaster that somehow has Lea Thompson, duck tits, and a demonic overlord, all in under 2 hours.
And zero explanation.
Zero shame, too.
We'll break down the scenes that haunted us, the moments that made us laugh way too hard, and try to answer the ultimate question: did this movie age well, or was it always just a ducking disaster? Hi, guys.
Hey,
Hi.
what's going on?
How's your week?
Totally
Quick.
phenomenal.
Very, very fast week.
It was a fast week.
But it all culminated with being able to watch Howard the Duck, which was just absolutely amazing. I
Highlight
can't
of the
get those
week.
2 hours
Absolutely.
back.
Oh my God, I'm going to have such a different take, I think. So Howard the Duck is this week's film. And if you have not watched Howard the Duck before, this film is based on the comic book character Howard the Duck. And he is suddenly beamed from Duck World, a planet of, ducks, to Earth, and he lands in Cleveland. There, he saves rocker Beverly from some thugs, which we're going to talk a lot about, and forms a friendship with her. And so she's working with her friends at a lab to try and get him back home. But the Jennings, played by Jeffrey Jones, which is fabulous, he screws something up, and instead he transfers an evil spirit into his body. So, on its own, this sounds insane.
Because it is.
Right. Because there's absolutely no indication of what this is. And I mean, I think we're a Marvel family. I got a Marvel son. I knew Howard is part of the MCU.
Yes.
Right. And we see him. We see him in Guardians of the Galaxy. We see him in Avengers Endgame. And so if none of us in 1986 who wasn't a comic book nerd would have known this. None of us. This was a standalone movie that was a hot mess, right?
Yeah, for sure.
But it's all based on a significant comic book series that had 30, 40 plus comic books dedicated, like in the series. And if you didn't know this was a terrible movie. But then I went back to look at the comic books, and it was all like, Oh, okay. This now makes sense why this movie exists. It doesn't preclude the fact that it's still a hot mess.
Correct.
So I'm trying to look at it from the lens of Marvel.
Hmm. Yeah, I would think if you're looking at it through the Marvel lens, it still doesn't quite meet the expectation.
Right, like this is technically, this is like the first MCU movie.
Yeah.
That's what I was going to say.
Right. And and Beverly is a very significant character in the comic books. These are all stories that are told. And so I think that put into perspective, this actually is not a bad movie.
It's not the worst movie I've ever seen. I think that the cringe factor was so bad that it took away from the parts that were actually really great.
I think that's true. I think that so Siskel and Ebert, gave it 1 star. He called it a stupid film. Way to use your words, bro.
Yeah.
The story
And the
has
story has no center. What does that mean? No core?
there's no arc. That there's no arc to it. I mean, I think the arc is the fucking demonic Jeffrey Jones.
Right.
Sorry,
And
Dr.
the duck is not
Jones.
likable? How can you not like Howard?
Yeah, Howard's pretty great.
He is.
And
And
the
the special
funny.
effects are less impressive than a sparkler and a birthday cake.
And that's not true.
That's not true.
That's not true. Like, so talking, okay, 1986, right? We've got George Lucas on this thing. So he's already done 3 Star Wars films, right?
Yep.
You're post Ghostbusters. Now, if you were to put Ghostbusters up against Howard the Duck, how are they any different outside of the fact that Ghostbusters had bigger name actors?
Right.
Because if you think like Rick Moranis in Ghostbusters, and then you look at Jeffrey Jones in Howard the Duck, it's the same exact thing.
Agreed.
I think the special effects with the actual demonic guy towards the end of the movie, I think that's excellent special effects for 1986. That was a scary
I totally
dude.
agree. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
He was a scary dude.
So I realized that while I was watching this, that I loved this movie so much growing up that I fast forwarded through 90% of it. Like I did not remember that monster. Like I think I went from like her singing in the cage all the way down to her singing Howard the Duck. Like I
Probably.
missed that complete like 90% of the movie, and for good reason.
Well, with your
But
child theater
watching it,
background, that probably makes sense.
right? But watching it over, I'm like, this is actually pretty good for being like a 1984, 85 production released in 86.
Right.
It actually looked pretty good. And even like looking at Howard's costume, I'm like, is he like a Chuck E. Cheese animatronic or
He was a
what's
person.
going on there?
Yeah, he was a
Like you
person.
can tell there's a person in there, but like his head was very Chuck E. Cheese-ish.
It was very Chuck E. Cheese-ish. That's good. Yeah. I
Or
think,
Mark's Funtime Pizza Palace.
oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
Oh my God.
Mm-hmm.
You want to talk about Cleveland?
Oh my God. Well, so
We'll get there.
So I think like while we were watching the movie, we were very like, why Cleveland? Why Cleveland? Well, it's because that's where the comic book is set.
Yes.
But very obviously filmed in San Francisco. And I think there's definitely some Easter eggs in there that they're probably not purposeful Easter eggs, but It was fun to go, oh my God, that was over by where I used to live. That's, so it was very identifiable, San Francisco. And I
It
think
definitely was not Cleveland.
definitely was not Cleveland. I was before everyone under the sun wanted to film in Cleveland. The duck not likable. I I think people I think the thing is his voice kind of it doesn't match for me. So I think we all sort of have this preconceived notion of what a duck should be. And I think that had to have been Siskel's opinion, was that this is not how I would portray a duck. But again,
But he's an intelligent duck
he's an intelligent duck.
that lives in Mershington, D.C.
Yes.
Yes.
Very well-to-do dude.
He was supposed to be a plastic surgeon.
He was, but he dropped out.
Yeah. He's with Frenchie.
He's with French. Please don't ever talk about Grease 2 ever again.
We know
Talk
more
about
about
trauma response.
we know more about Grease too than anybody should know.
We really do. So the appearance of Howard was criticized as being unconvincing due to his poorly functioning mouth and expressionless face.
It was
I mean,
the
his eyes said it
80s.
all. His eyes were pretty creepy, but
Intense.
amazing.
Yeah, very
Like he-
Chuck E. Cheese-ish.
Right. I mean, his expression was in his eyes.
I don't think anything took away. I don't think any, and there were limitations in technology at the time, even though, this was criticized at the time. And perhaps we're looking back at it obviously we're looking back at it through a different lens, but it didn't take away from the movie. You weren't like, look at that weird duck face. It's expressionless.
Right.
Oh, I didn't feel that. So
I did not feel that either.
Me either.
And fun fact, we have mallards that have built a home in our pond.
Really?
They're adorable.
Have you named
Male and a
them?
female. They've been here for a couple weeks now. And I named them Harry and Sally.
Oh, that's
now
adorable.
I think I might name them Howard and Beverly.
Oh,
It's pretty
you
apropos. I think it's like the universe telling me something.
Yeah. Again, we don't have the heavy hitters of Ghostbusters, but it was a decent cast.
Yeah, it was all right. We got some good people in there.
First and foremost, we got Lea Thompson, who has just come off of Back to the Future before she's done Some Kind of Wonderful. So she's right there in her career, I believe.
This was after Back to the Future?
This was after Back to the Future 1. Back to the Future came out in 85, right? And Howard the Duck came out in 86.
So was this supposed to be an upgrade?
Well, it almost
for
seems
her
like she
acting career.
It's almost like she did them at the same time. But again, you've got George Lucas.
Yeah, you would think that this has got to be groundbreaking and amazing for her career.
So Some Kind of Wonderful came out in 87. So she's in between. And then Space Camp. We cannot forget Space Camp was also the same year as Howard the Duck. She's a busy girl.
Yeah,
she was very busy. It seems like she was in every 80s movie.
Oh my God. She was in all the Back to the Futures, right? Then Space Camp, Howard the Duck, Some Kind of Wonderful, Casual Sex. And then something called The Wizard of Loneliness, which I've never heard of.
Neither have I.
I've never heard of that either.
All right, so Lea Thompson studied ballet as a child, as well as her older brother, Andrew. That's interesting. Do we know who Andrew Thompson is? Is he a thing?
I don't know.
I don't know. She was dancing professionally by age 14. That's very interesting. And she won scholarships to the San Francisco Ballet, the Pennsylvania Ballet, and the American Ballet Theater. At 20, she was dancing with American Ballet Theater Studio Company, then known as ABT2. The artistic director at the time told her, "You're a
So-
lovely dancer."
Wait, hold on. So this is Mikhail Baryshnikov.
Cough.
Mikhail
Who's that?
Baryshnikov, who was
He was.
the cat's ass of the 80s.
Oh yeah.
And he was a big deal. And King and
What
I?
did he do?
No.
What does he do?
What did he do though?
He's a ballet dancer. She's a part of his ballet company.
Your protege?
He has an exceptional talent as a ballet dancer, his successful transition to acting, and a defection from the Soviet Union, which made him a pop culture icon.
Okay.
Okay, so he
What?
was right. I know him. Well, Mom.
I know him as telling Lea Thompson she was too stocky.
He did tell her that,
and I'm kind of mad at him right now.
Right, she was too stocky, and then she like quit, didn't she? Just quit dancing.
Yeah.
So to hear this from him, like, is like, because it's not just hearing it from just any old person, right? You're hearing it from the ballet dancer of the century.
But he's probably the biggest critic too. So it's like, well,
Oh,
why
yeah.
are you
I mean,
taking
like,
just this dude's word?
Yeah, I know him from being
This is-
on Sex in the City. I think he dated Carrie, honestly.
Oh, was he the artist?
Was he? Yeah.
Was he the artist?
Yeah. Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Still don't like him right now.
Right. He hurt our poor Leah.
He did.
He did.
He was rude.
Yeah.
And overcritical.
Okay.
And if she wants to dance, she should frickin' dance.
We all should dance.
Yes.
I hope you dance. Fun fact. This is Tim Robbins' first acting role.
Whoa.
Right.
Okay.
I think it was a little rough one for him.
Yeah, it's not surprising.
A little bit.
It was a little rough.
He's Andy Dufresne. That's all we have to talk about with Tim Robbins.
Yeah.
He's Andy.
I got nothing on Tim Robbins.
No, I mean, he's He's a national treasure because he's Andy Dufresne. Let's just leave it at that.
Okay.
Jeffrey Jones.
Yes.
Jeffrey Jones. My
Classic.
God, he was in everything. He was in everything.
He really was.
And
if Lea Thompson wasn't in it, then Jeffrey Jones was.
Oh my God. Seriously. Like, bravo, sir. But you're Edward Rooney. So that's it. I think we'll get into that, but I feel like the makeup they did on him was really good.
Unreal.
Yeah.
Even to today's standards, I feel it was extremely well played.
Right. Anyway.
Like with each shot, you're like, whoa.
Yeah, right.
Whoa. Wow. Like the amount of time that it had to have taken to do all those scenes.
Exactly.
Kudos, makeup artist.
The effort in San Francisco to turn everything to say Cleveland is just hilarious. It's
very hilarious.
Cleveland changes everything to be Gotham City.
Else. Yeah, exactly. Just like,
but this definitely was not Cleveland.
No. But I love.
So it's like, well, okay. Now I understand why they said it's Cleveland, but it's like, pick another city if you're not going to be here,
right?
Or even make it look like it.
Well, I don't know that I would have filmed anything in Cleveland in the early 80s.
That was the most bougiest thing you could have ever said.
No, but I mean, Cleveland was a little bit of a scary place.
Oh, come on.
It was before
San Francisco?
Well, Howard the Duck was actually nominated for 7 Razzie Awards and won 4. It made about $38 million compared to its $30 to $37 million budget.
That's quite a budget.
It really didn't make very much money.
The 80s. What was, I don't want to bring it up, but what was the Grease 2 budget? Wasn't it like 15 million?
I thought it was 13 million and they made 11.5 million. So it like ended up making nothing.
This is a large budget.
Right. And Ghostbusters budget was 30 million.
Wow.
So I think
Jeez.
honestly, if we really put this up against Ghostbusters, it's not that different of a movie.
No, it's not.
Those Razzies, though, that was
Worst screenplay.
Yeah. The
Worst
Golden
picture.
Raspberry Awards.
I just don't
Who
think
distributes
worst
these
screenplay.
awards?
the Razzies.
Okay.
Yeah.
Worst visual effects.
Like, this
And-
is harsh.
It is.
Stinkers Bad Movie Awards. Worst picture.
Yeah, it's a little. I
Wow.
just don't think that it would get these same nominations today. I think,
Agreed.
because obviously it has a cult following, and now that everyone knows he's in the fucking MCU, they're like, oh, okay, this is cool. So, yeah.
So, I mean, I assume that they're comparing this to the effects of Star Wars
Possibly.
and other movies that, especially George Lucas, had done. That it's like, this is subpar for Mr. Lucas here. So this is pretty bad compared to what he has already accomplished.
That demon at the end of that movie was George Lucas quality.
Absolutely.
100%. Anyone who says different is stupid.
All right. Do we want to get into the actual movie?
Yeah.
So to start the movie, we enter Howard the Duck's apartment. Howard is sitting in his recliner and he's watching TV, and then he pulls out a duck porn magazine called Play Duck. And suddenly Howard is sucked through the wall. We see various people throughout his apartment building, including naked female ducks. So this is where we see duck tits for the first time.
Can we talk about duck tits?
I'd love to.
Do we have to? This is cringy.
It's very cringy. And without actually reading the comic, I can't tell if the comic also had this kind of weird nudity in it.
I think it did.
Did it?
Mm-hmm.
Okay. So that's why we have duck breasts. They were very, what's the word?
Perky?
They were very perky. They were quite ballish. They just looked like balls. Those are not what breasts look like, boys.
Like silicone implant duck breasts.
But the
yeah, they kind of looked like cereal bowls. Or like paper mache to them.
They were paper mache cereal bowls.
Yes.
Okay. And that goes away, and we don't really see any more duck tits, but anyway, he's being sucked through the building.
Sucked through the building, sucked through a vortex, and he ends up in Cleveland. So he's taken off of his planet and goes through outer space and ends up in Cleveland. So he ends up in an alleyway, and it's outside of a club. Some guys outside end up throwing him into the club as a joke, and that is where he first sees Beverly performing in her band Cherry Bomb.
He's had a rough first 10 minutes of his life on Earth.
He really has.
He was picked up and moved around and kicked around and almost ran over and hiding in barrels.
Yeah, it's been pretty terrible.
Lea Thompson did all the singing. That is not dubbed.
Nice.
Oh, I know. I think that's
good for her.
Great.
I was wondering that. She did very well.
I was wondering that too, if that was her.
Yeah, it was. She did a good job. And they're all behind a fence, I guess, because everybody accosts everyone. I think that might have been a punk thing at that time, was the fences in clubs.
I feel like there's another movie where a band is behind a fence.
I think in Some Kind of Wonderful.
Is it? Okay. I think so.
Yeah.
Yeah.
I think it was that was a thing at the time. I could ask my wife. Maybe she was in a bar in the 80s and she could
I'm
tell
sure
us
you
about
would
it.
too.
No, I was a kid. Oh, so then we have wait. So this is where we have the girl biker gang
Yes.
or girl biker gang, and they're called like
The Satan sluts.
Satan
sluts.
Why?
Again, I don't know if this is from the comic book or not, but that's a name. I don't think we have to talk about it anymore. But anyway, girl biker gang, like, yeah, girl power.
Yeah, they were riding somewhere with a vengeance.
Yeah.
Yep. So this is where Howard ends up sort of in the alleyway after the show, he leaves and he ends up hiding in a barrel.
An oil barrel. Yeah.
And Beverly ends up walking through that sort of alleyway, and Howard hears some sort of tussle outside, and this is where Beverly potentially is being
Essayed.
it's kind of hard to tell what exactly is going on. But Howard ends up fighting these guys that are assaulting Beverly, and ultimately Beverly invites Howard back to her apartment because Howard has nowhere to go.
Okay, let's back way up. When Howard first lands in that alley from Duck World, there's a bit of a scene where he's running from some accosters, like, I'm just a little duck or so. He's very like, I don't know, the way he was running away from these people. And then he turns into this, like, I know quack foo. And he like kicks these, whatever he does. It's just a strange introduction. And again, this goes to the screenplay. And I do think that the screenplay is not good, but this is his power. His quack foo.
Correct.
Right.
I love that for him.
I love that for him too. But let's just talk about this like casual essay scene that we've got going on here. The guy with the baby heads on his jacket.
Yeah, I don't feel like that was punk rock.
I was going to ask you about that.
Yeah, I don't recall ever seeing anybody in my travels that chose to put doll heads on their leather jacket. But maybe he felt like he was being really edgy. I don't know.
That took a lot of work to sew all of those doll heads to that leather jacket. Leather's hard to sew into. Yeah.
I mean, I guess I didn't do a close up on it. Did he have those secured with bobby pins or with safety pins?
Maybe they
That would
were
make sense.
secured with safety pins.
Safety pins would be pretty punk rock. The doll heads, no.
I just want to take a moment and appreciate OG hair crimpers.
Still have one. Still use it.
Like, if you have the original one from the 80s, cool. But they've tried to recreate it in modern times, and it's not the same.
Oh, no, it's way too big.
They're not.
Way too spaced out.
They're way too spaced out. You need those to be like an eighth of an inch away from each other. And to anyone out there that has saved their hair crimper from the 80s, bravo. Start using that.
I bet we could find one in Mom and Dad's basement.
I was going to say, do you think Mom and Dad still have one?
Probably.
Well, I don't mean dad, but I don't think dad was using the hair crimper. But I don't know, man. I feel like that's something that they would probably still have.
It's so funny because everything we think that they should have,
They
They
don't.
don't.
they don't. And then it's like, then what do you have exactly?
Well, we're going to find out
One day we will.
one day.
I am trying to impart, I know dad, it's not dad, it's mom, but, Swedish death cleaning, people. Swedish death cleaning. Everyone do
Death
it.
cleaning?
Swedish death cleaning.
Oh, like when they pass?
No, it's basically you are preparing your own home for when you
Oh, yeah.
do die so that your loved ones don't have to sort through your shit. So when Beverly and Howard get to the apartment, there just seems to be this shift where they're best friends.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
They've known each other forever.
Forever. Howard, like, this like, again, does this go to the screenplay of they're just going to a different comic where because Beverly and Howard are dating. They date for most of the series. And I just can't tell if they're just jumping ahead, but not in the screenplay. He falls asleep.
And she just starts going through his wallet.
Yeah.
As somebody does when they first meet somebody.
With his Marshington ID and
I
his
feel like
American dollars with ducks.
Duck faces on. Yeah, I mean, I feel like if you kind of put this in like perspective, if somebody had spent the night at your house that you had just met, and let's say their wallet falls on the floor, are you like, I'm going to go through
I
this
should go through that
and pull every single item out?
Well, I guess what she is trying to do is figure out who he is.
Sure.
But that's not the disturbing part.
No.
I'm not talking about it.
She pulls out a loose condom. And I don't know what this says. Like, why couldn't it have been a condom in a wrapper? Why did it have to be like, what? Why? Why are you doing that to us?
Maybe ducks don't need them to be wrapped.
They don't need things to be sanitary or anything like that. No. Okay.
Duck STDs.
Right. And so it makes you
bird flu.
Immediately think of whatever his duck penis is, and it's just unsettling.
Yeah, it's.
I'm putting this high on the cringe meter. If we could move on from it.
Yeah. This is high on the cringe meter. So
Probably the highest rating for cringe. Yeah. So then we move on to where Beverly decides she's going to take Howard to see her friend. Well,
in a garbage bag.
In a garbage bag. But isn't it her friend from the band's boyfriend?
Yes.
Okay. So Phil Blumbert, because she thought that he was a scientist. And so she thought that he could probably get Howard back home. And they find out that he is actually not a scientist. He's like a lab assistant and sort of like a janitor.
Mm-hmm.
And
but he's hyped up to figure out what's going on with Howard.
Yeah, he's really obsessed with Howard. And he thinks this is his big break, that the other scientists will think he's like super awesome, that he found this duck somehow. And this is where Howard and Beverly have a little tiff.
But this is where you've been on Earth for approximately
a day,
13 hours at this point, and his immediate solution is, I gotta go get a job.
Yeah.
Like, How was that the next step?
Well, he's got to make money.
Well, for what?
Yeah, I don't know. It is kind of strange that he's like, I mean, he's got a place to stay. Well, no, he doesn't. So maybe that's why, is that, he's now not staying with Beverly anymore. And so he needs to make some money so that he can get a place to stay.
He kind of messed up a really good deal here. Like the only person he knows on Earth, and he decides to get in an argument with them.
Yeah.
I understand his emotions, but it's like, come on, dude, pick your battle. She is trying to help you.
Right.
Yeah.
And now you have nowhere to stay and you're a duck.
So he
in a
goes to
land of
the
humans.
unemployment office.
Yes.
And he makes a mention about how he had to steal clothes from the thrift store. And so
those overalls.
He is wearing a pair of kids' overalls that has a horse on it that has googly eyes.
It's so
And
great.
He's got a jacket on that's like almost like a jean jacket, and it's got horses and sheriff badges all over it. And this social worker is like super rude to him. Like, I know people like you, basically like you're trash, and I'm going to put you in the worst job possible. So she sends him to a job it's a sex club that involves hot tubs, and it's called Hot Tub Fever. And Howard is essentially the janitor of this hot tub fever. So he's just cleaning up in a sex club. I feel like, maybe your first job could be at like McDonald's or, someplace like that. But she puts him in a sex club.
This is so disturbing on so many levels.
It is. So, yeah. I think Howard then ends up realizing that, he's made a big mistake. And
well, why does the guy fire him?
Oh, because he ended up
in the hot tub.
He ended up in the hot tub with that couple.
He gets
on
thrown
accident,
in there,
though.
but he's thrown into it.
He was thrown in there.
Okay.
Yeah.
And the owner was like, "Yeah, you're out of here." So Howard can't even work at a sex club.
Well, right, and then he ends up pushing the boss into like a mud pit.
The mud bath.
Yeah.
A mud bath, and then they pan back to him, and he's just like ripped. He's like this ripped duck. Did you notice that? He was like, he's got this tight shirt on, and he's just like a bro.
Yeah.
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 So
oof, we can't unsee this one.
Yeah.
It's very strange. So Howard ends up going back to the club to find Beverly, and overhears this conversation with the manager of Beverly's band and some of his cronies, which the one guy is the same guy from Ferris Bueller's Day Off that drives drives the car. So immediately I'm like, who is that guy? Who is that guy? And I could not place him forever. And I kept watching that scene over and over and over again. And I was like, oh my God, that's the guy that drives the car. Oh my God, from the parking garage scene. Anyway,
he just walked over from the Ferris set and was like, "Hey guys, you need some? I'm bored.
Yeah, I can
be in a
that
scene."
guy. So Howard kind of fights them and gets their money because they were talking about how they were going to steal the money from the girls' band, and so Howard gets their money, and he goes backstage.
Still a fight. There's a fight.
There's a fight.
So we're pulling some superhero shit here, right? Like
he's using his quack foo.
And he, gets this guy nailed down and gets the money and makes fires him. Yeah. So there we're seeing some superhero shit finally.
Yep.
Go Howie.
Oh, Howie.
So yeah. And then Howard goes backstage. He gives the girls their money and says, hey, I fought your dudes, and your manager's not your manager anymore. And so ultimately they're like, ooh, Howard, you're the best. And so Beverly takes Howard back to her apartment again.
Right. So now he's been there technically for 24 hours. Right?
Mm-hmm.
Right?
Yes.
Is this where he's kind of playing the piano?
Yes. So he starts playing the piano and getting down, and Beverly's watching him, and she starts laughing. And then
he discloses he had a band.
He had a band. And Beverly goes to walk to her bed, and she's wearing this robe that's open, and she's wearing like lingerie, like a lingerie crop top and string bikini underwear and nothing else. In front of this duck, a duck that she met less than a day ago.
That's where, and like,
and she knows he has a duck condom.
Yeah.
Right.
So she knows that he's capable of having sex.
She's a little hussy.
And she's like, you know what? I'm okay with that. And then, so she ends up in the bed, and then she invites Howard in the bed with her.
Like,
when the
watch David Letterman.
Yeah. And like the night before, he was sleeping like in the window. And so, in less than 24 hours, he's just in her bed. And Howard is sort of hitting on her a little bit. And Beverly seems like cool with it.
Yeah.
She is. And then he's like caught, like, oh, shoot. Like, she actually wants to do something with this.
Yeah. And he completely
like,
backpedals. Yeah.
Yeah. And he's like, whoa, this is weird. Well, I mean, to be honest, I mean, has he ever really seen humans or been around humans before he got sent to
Earth? He started hitting on her, though.
I know, but like, maybe he just, I don't know. Maybe he was like,
in retrospect, yeah. So you have a point. Like, wouldn't he be as freaked out to seeing humans as they are to seeing this walking, talking duck?
Exactly.
Unless on his planet, like they knew about humans. So anyway, in the middle of them kissing, Phil shows up.
Right.
And just
like,
walks
how did
in
they
on
just
them.
walk into her studio loft, whatever it is?
And if they wouldn't have walked in right then, what would have happened?
Yes.
Oh, that was definitely a cringy scene. Very cringy.
Yeah. Like, why are they getting in that easily?
Oh, the door was open.
So the outside door is open, and I would assume she has an upstairs door like
open. And so they just decide, you know what? It's night. It's late because this is after a concert. And this is like they're in bed. So it's got to be like really late. Because if I recall how late shows got out, I mean, we're talking like 2 a.m. And then they go back to her apartment, and Phil's like, I think I'm just going to bring some random dudes into Beverly's apartment and just walk in.
Right. And it's fine.
Yeah, that's totally fine.
At 2 or 3 a.m.
Totally normal.
Yeah, makes sense. So, yeah, he walks in with Dr. Jennings, and what was the other?
We know what happened, and we can reverse it. My bad.
Yeah, we can't really just reverse it, but
who's the third guy? We have like
Carter.
Phil, Carter. Okay.
Carter.
Okay. I don't think I had grabbed.
I rewound that many times to find out what his name was. It's Carter.
Yeah.
And so so they decide, hey, let's head back to Dynatech and see what we can do here for you.
Yeah.
So we're in between the Academy of Sciences and the Natural History Museum.
I guess. Sort of strange, but
pick a lane.
Yeah.
All right.
Well, that may have also come out of the comic books. We don't know.
Maybe.
And we're not doing a podcast where we read all 40 Howard the Duck comic books.
Oh,
No.
please, no.
Ain't nobody got time for that.
Nope.
Mm-mm.
Nope. So they show up, they get in, and they immediately like all these people are running back at them, screaming. Like, I don't remember what that guy, so something has gone terribly wrong, right? And so they get in there and they're like, oh my God, where's Dr. Jennings? Where's Dr. Jennings? And they find him lying on the floor. And at that time, like, he's like, something doesn't feel right. I think that's kind of how he starts, right? Like, something doesn't feel right. And they're like, well, we got to get out of here.
Yes.
But
Sorry, I was at
then
the wrong scene.
somehow, like, so the police show up because, like, all this stuff has gone wrong. And they arrest Howard.
They arrest Howard for being an illegal alien.
Right. And so they put him in the back of the cop car. No, that was Phil. They arrest him, but
No,
how does he get away?
Who, Howard?
Because Beverly turns the gun on the cop to get the handcuff key to release Howard. So now he's wanted and extremely dangerous because they now have the cop's gun. And then the cops are meeting and they say, all right, well, now we're out to shoot to kill. So Howard and Beverly are like, ah!
And then they escape with Dr. Jennings.
Right. So now they're all on the run. And this is when the demon is coming out of Jennings.
Right. I thought
So
that
now
the scene where Phil is in the back of the
that's much later.
Oh, that's much later. You're right. Yes.
Yeah.
Sorry. Yes. And so what do you do when you're running from the law?
Well, you probably need a cup of coffee. I mean, I feel
wouldn't it be like 4 a.m. or 5 a.m.?
Yeah.
Right. Like they do
because
say they're used to getting interesting people at night, but there's a lot of people in this place, which now seems to be very early morning rather than late night.
It's like my friend's deli in the middle of the night, except there's like whole ass like families there.
Right.
Like,
exactly.
It doesn't match. It doesn't match at all.
Who's taking their kid to Cajun sushi at 4 a.m, it seems.
Yeah.
It's like a packed restaurant.
It is.
You actually do notice that when the police are chasing them, it does shift from nighttime, like it's dark out, and then then it's light out.
Yeah.
So it's got to be like 5 or 6 a.m.
Just very early breakfast service.
I guess.
Okay. I can. Okay.
I mean, the special that they order is a breakfast special, so
that's
the eggs.
true.
You're right.
The eggs.
Yeah.
The eggs were pretty detrimental for Howard.
Howard was very triggered by the eggs.
So it's at this point that we see that something's not quite right with Dr. Jennings.
Yeah, he's wackadoodled.
He's really starting to have some issues. And it's the Cajun sushi scene where he just progressively is turning into the
dark overlord.
And that voice is life.
Yes.
Oh.
It's so fantastic.
Yeah.
Like there was
the gradual progression of this dark overlord is just
and I described it as him being all glowy and electric-y because like he's got like this aura around him and you can see like electricity coming from his body.
And he gets just like outlined in neon lights.
Yeah, it's pretty cool. And then so he essentially like he just like fights everybody because
but then they try to cook Howard because it's duck hunting season.
They do try to cook him and they're putting like celery in his mouth and
like throwing
they're
lettuce,
seasoning him,
throwing lettuce on him.
There's so much happening in this scene. It's mind blowing.
Yeah, it's very
There's butcher
strange.
knives hovering and flying in the air.
Yeah.
It's quite a scene.
So Dr. Jennings takes Beverly hostage in a semi.
Yeah.
Yeah. And so he's driving. And so he needs
Yes.
power, right? He needs
Some sort of
that's when
power.
the thing comes out of his mouth
Yeah,
is in the semi, right?
I described it as a weird wiener worm or what looks like a very long turkey neck.
Yeah, and he shoves it into the cigarette lighter for power.
It's like
Yes.
it's a wiener
Yeah.
worm with a fingernail.
A wiener
Yes.
worm with a very long vulture nail. Yes. Yeah. And so Howard and Phil, does Howard's hiding, and he's hiding in like this little play area
Kitty land.
outside of the diner.
Yeah.
Yes.
And Phil is in the back of a cop car. But
So why is he being arrested?
I
guess I missed that part.
I think it's from Dynatech, right? Like he was like they just had to go to this other emergency, and he's still with
just
them
in the back of the car,
right? Like
But he's handcuffed.
right, because they
Yes.
arrested him at Dynatech. Like they were arresting Howard.
Yes. Okay, that makes sense.
They got him, but they just haven't been able to get back to the police station yet. They're like, hold on, dude, we've got to go to this other emergency.
We're just taking you with us.
We're just taking you with us. Yeah.
So Phil sees Howard in the playland area, and essentially Howard's like, yeah, you got to get out of there. So they escape. And
so that was, I thought that was a funny scene where it was like, oh my God, how are we going to get you out of here? And so he just somehow is able to get to the front seat of a cop car and like thrusts himself out of the front window. And Howard's like, well, we could, and he just like opens the door. I thought that was funny. I thought that was some comedy.
Yes.
He is an intelligent duck.
He is an intelligent duck.
Yeah. And so they're kind of like, what do we do now? And they find this like Wright brothers airplane that's just, randomly there. And they're like, yeah, let's just take this. I know how to fly an airplane.
Right.
Right. Which never can
and
fly.
Phil's a scientist. He can fix it up and make it fly.
Oh, within minutes.
And Howard makes it very clear he doesn't know how to fly, but then Phil's just like, yeah, fly this airplane. Not the same thing, but he just assumes that Howard can fly an airplane. And
in the meantime, while they're trying to do that, right, you've got Jennings somehow, like they're going to what looks like the Perry nuclear power plant. Obviously they're not, but
which would be like a Cleveland thing.
And then somehow he's just on like some government tour.
Yes.
Looking like he does. He's just on that tour.
Yeah. He just goes into this tour at the power plant like, oh, hey, guys, let me just check out what you've got here. And the people who are giving the tour are just like, yeah, this guy's totally normal. No big deal.
No, nothing to see here. So he knows
and this is after he blows up 5 cars that were in front of him at the e-check station. Yeah.
Oh yeah. Yeah. That would drain me. I'd be a little tired after that.
Well, he's got the power.
Right.
So yeah. And Dr. Jennings decides, you know what? I'm gonna break into this nuclear power area and get all the power I need.
Mm-hmm.
And
so then he's got the energy to take Beverly back to Dynatech, right?
Yeah.
And because he's going to bring down someone else.
Another dark orb. He wants to bring down more dark overlords. And So they go back to Dynatech, and he takes Beverly in there and he straps her to a table because he's going to use her body as the vessel for one of these dark or overlords. And so then Phil and Howard, they break into Dynatech after they fly their Wright brothers airplane into
was the longest scene.
It was.
It was the
And
longest scene.
like
they
the
showed
cops
the
are
same B-roll 3 times going over the duck hunters. Yes.
yes.
It was the same scene 3 times, flying over them, and then they fall into the water. Like,
Yeah.
is this what's happening? Like, it's the exact same scene.
I kept thinking that. I'm like, why do they keep showing the same dude falling out of the boat over and over and over again? And I'm like, that can't be the same people. Maybe they're just all
Oh, it
wearing the same
is.
outfit. Yeah. And then I kept watching and I'm like, that's
It's the exact same
so
scene.
weird. And then they go into the area where the giant laser is and they find Dr. Jennings with Beverly strapped to the table. And they're like, we've got to fight Dr. Jennings and get this dark overlord out of him.
So isn't the whole mission here for Howard to get to this vessel in a certain amount of time to be able to be beamed back to Duck World?
Yes, I think they have to take care of the Dark Overlord issue first, but
Yeah.
yes.
But there is still a time crunch for Howard to get back. Because
Yes.
then he has to make a decision.
Except at this point, Dr. Jennings, or whoever's inside of him, is now beaming through these other dark overlords. And so the laser is being used the wrong way. Because to get Howard back, it needs to be
reversed back in,
right
into the right position. And so we've got is this where the giant monster comes in? Where does the giant monster?
Yeah. So this is where they're trying to sort of hit him with this. It's not a golf cart. It's like a utility cart thing with the laser gun on it, and they're trying to hit him. And so Howard ends up shooting the laser at Dr. Jennings. Dr. Jennings is Dr. Jennings is shooting something at Howard, and he's holding up this metal piece that deflects it, and that deflector hits Dr. Jennings, and that's when the monster comes out of him. And
yes,
so
it boomerangs.
The monster comes out, and then Howard's like, oh, shiitake. I don't know what I'm supposed to do here. So then the big monster, Howard ends up shooting him with the laser, and it destroys him.
Again, I go back to when this monster kind of rises up. Yeah, from my recollection, he kind of rises up.
Yep.
That's an impressive monster.
It is.
Super.
And for a kid, because we were watching it as kids, that was
scary.
Very scary. It was terrifying.
I go back to my point of fast forwarding 90% of this movie.
Right.
Yes.
You're like, I didn't watch this.
That would have been the scene that you fast forwarded through.
Right. I just watched Lea Thompson singing, and that was it. And I loved the movie for the.
Yeah. So all the stuff inside the lab ends up getting destroyed, and Howard kind of knew that if he shot the laser, to prevent those dark overlords from coming through the laser, that it would destroy his chances of going home. And so he decides, I'm just going to do it, and I'm going to stay here. And it blows up, and essentially Howard ends up underneath some rubble, and Beverly thinks that Howard is now dead. And she says something like, I don't know where you are now, but I hope that you're happy. And she starts crying. And then
I just have to take this back to Ghostbusters, because
You're right.
The villain here, they're dark overlords, right? Big scary monster.
Yep.
Ghostbusters 1 from 84. The main villain is Gozer the Gozerian, who is
big
a
scary monster.
powerful demon who's been summoned to Earth.
And they kill him with a laser.
I'm just saying.
Yes.
So this isn't too original.
You're telling me. Well, no, it seems like Ghostbusters ripped off Howard the Duck comics.
But Ghostbusters was 84.
No, the comic books were from the 70s.
Yeah.
I gotcha.
All of this in Howard the Duck is from the comic books. This isn't a new story.
Same premise.
Right? So
Howard gets the short end of the stick here.
Yeah.
He's laying there. We think he's dead.
Yeah.
But alas, he is not.
But
he's not.
He is not without a sense of humor.
He's not.
Because he wakes up.
And pretends to be a dark overlord.
Like, too soon, Howard. Too soon.
Yes.
And so everybody laughs like it's a Scooby-Doo episode.
Yuck, 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 yuck.
Oh, this was a crazy night, guys.
So you know what we should do next after all this is there should be a concert.
So that's obviously for fast forwarding significantly in time, right?
Yes.
Because now they're playing arenas.
Yes.
They're wearing really fancy outfits.
Yes.
And Howard is their manager.
And he's got a pretty cool outfit on too.
Is he wearing a suit?
He's like wearing a suit coat.
Yeah.
Was he wearing pants?
Because he has to be wearing pants. Disney would fuck them up if he wasn't wearing pants.
He had to be wearing pants or Disney was
no, Disney
on
was
it.
None of it.
And Phil is like a stagehand.
Yeah. He went from being like a scientist assistant to a stagehand.
Yeah. So everybody's just in on this band.
Yeah.
And in my opinion, this is the best part of the whole entire movie.
It is. Anyone want to say it?
Kristen doesn't agree that this is the best part of the movie.
I mean, of course, because it's the, it's the end. And it's a great scene. And that's a song.
Yes.
That was sung.
With the synth music. Very 80s.
Yes, I love that they kind of like have this plan in place to get Howard on stage, so he can play the guitar from back in his days of as
and he absolutely shreds.
Right. And is that how it ends?
Yeah, and so they perform, they have like this whole choreography that they're kind of doing, like a playful choreography, and that's how it ends.
To this duck we say a toast, so get the butter off his face.
What?
No, he's got too good to roast. He saved the human race. What?
Well,
he did save the human race, but no, let's not talk about roasting him.
Oh my God.
Too good to roast. Okay, so don't roast him. We're not gonna eat him. Get the butter off his face. Okay. Did they put butter on his face? Maybe in the
diner scene?
The diner scene?
I don't think they did.
Need to contain him. Hickory dickory dock. He ain't about to be plucked. Too groovy for gravy. Too precious for pate. He's a funky little feather-bearing waterfowl. A quack that's not a fake. Little cupcake of a drake. Come into my tub of love.
Ew.
My God, what was this person on when they wrote it?
LSD.
This is a song. So again, this is a song. Yeah.
I can see it. With a feather's touch, I love him apart.
And that, folks, is Howard the Duck, 1986. And
Yeah.
what are your thoughts?
My thought is this is not what I remember it to be. I was a little creeped out by it. But I thought that it was actually, thought the cinematography was actually pretty good on it. I thought Howard was good. The monster was good. The makeup was amazing. The storyline was horrendous. But I mean, that's what keeps you engaged in finding out what other disaster can happen next. But yeah, it's pretty cringy. I would give it a 3 out of 5 on the cringe level.
Yeah, I agree. I think the way I gauge it is, if this came on a Saturday afternoon and I'm just sort of, sitting around and I see it come on TV, am I going to sit there and watch it? And I would say no.
I agree. I would not.
Do I think that it's a decent movie? There are scenes that are adorable. It does have some parts that are hilarious. And again, like I agree with Carol, is that, like the singing parts are great. But the storyline kind of lacks it for me. And I would say on the cringe scale, I'd probably give it like a 2.5.
Yeah, I'd have to say that I'm going to say it like Lea Thompson vocals are a hell of a lot better than Michelle Pfeiffer vocals.
Mm-hmm.
100%. I think it's unfortunate that this movie was made. But I'm not saying that in a way that it doesn't deserve a story. Howard the Duck was, I mean, it wasn't the biggest comic series by any stretch of the imagination. But to just kind of throw it into society that doesn't really, on the whole, know what the MCU is, because it's never mentioned, it's not talked about. The screenplay is not good. It's just not, there's just too much in it that could have been done better.
Mm-hmm.
So screenplay wise, just cringy, just not good. The acting, I think, was good, except Tim Robbins. He overacted. He was definite overacting in this. But otherwise, I think like the actors were decent. Were decent actors, and the effects. I'm sorry, like they're no worse than Ghostbusters.
Fair.
Yeah, agreed.
So I mean, I would rate it like a 3 out of 5 on the cringe scale. But after watching this again after so many years, like I understand this story and I understand like why the things that happened in this movie happened. Just unfortunate that it was written the way that it was. And we have that in modern day Marvel movies too, where it just isn't adapted right. And the nerds like me know that, right? It's kind of like Harry Potter. It's like you didn't adapt this correctly, like at all. And I just don't think this was adapted correctly.
Yes.
Should there be a remake?
No.
So Howard is in current day stuff. And today he's being voiced by Seth Green. He is showing up in different areas of the MCU. But no, I don't think it's deserving of a remake or a sequel or anything like that. But I think you could incorporate him like they are. I mean, they are giving him the respect.
They're redeeming him.
They are. I mean, I don't know how much he's redeemed by being in a glass tube, being collected by the collector. But, like, it's like, oh, wait, that's Howard the Duck. Why is Howard the Duck in the collector? Oh, wait. And then you go and look at it and you're like, oh, well, this makes sense. So, no, I don't think it needs needs a remake. I think it sits alone back there in 1986 where really it should stay, which is a shame. I do think Lea Thompson does a pretty great job.
Yes.
Well, with that, we're going to say our farewells.
Yeah, Howard the Duck. I think it'd be cool if he shows up at the Marvel campus at Disneyland.
Wouldn't that be a great
Like if they had, or even one of their like ticketed event parties where they bring out like the special characters, if they brought out Howard the Duck, I think people would be like, oh, that's sweet. But that would be the kind of thing that I think would be great for the character Howard the Duck. It's just little kitschy things where people who do appreciate Howard the Duck will be like, that was awesome that they brought him out. And they gave him a little nod, you know. But as far as like having a sequel or like part 2 or, you know, remaking it, no. But I like that like Seth Green is doing Howard the Duck and kind of bringing him back in like a more modern twist. And I think that if he showed up at Marvel campus, that would be pretty cool. Like I would appreciate that. If I saw it, I would be like, that's awesome.
That's cool. Yeah, like if there was a character meet and greet.
Yes.
Yeah, 100%. I agree. That campus needs something, but that's a different conversation.
It is.
So that's it for this week. Thanks for joining us. And
we'll see you next time.
Bye.
Bye.
Bye.